Alright, tonight we're going to be putting the new headlights and black painted grille in my 2019. This is something that I've had the grille for a while, and it's taken me a while to get the headlights. I bought a new set and sent it out to Retroshop and had them paint match the insides and got them back to me. That way I don't have to have my truck apart and down for a while. So I was not able to find many tutorials on how to tear the front end of a 19 apart, so I'm going to try to give you a time lapse and also give you some just any tips that I learn as I take it apart. So here we go. I don't really know what I'm doing, but we're going to see what we can get done. If anybody's wanting to purchase the paintable grill pieces from Dodge, here are the part numbers for the upper grill piece, the lower grill piece, and then the two outers. So there's 4 different part numbers that need to be purchased if you're wanting to buy the paintable grill pieces from Mopar. Taking these things out is a little bit tricky. You have to find the gap. On this side, it's on the back side. Just come in here and pop this thing up a little bit, get your crow's foot underneath, and you can pop it up, pull it out, and you can get this thing underneath there all together and pops right out. This piece right here merely snaps on and it comes off extremely hard. So it took a good bit of prying for me. I took the crow's foot and just simply pried it right in here until it popped loose and then pulled it off. So now I'm going to come over to this side and I'm going to pry the crow's foot in here and pop it out, pull this piece off. Then once you're underneath this piece, there's a 10mm head bolt here and right here that fasten this. Okay, I just pulled this piece off, and in between the bumper and the grill, I could go from the bottom and use, those are 2 10mm nuts that you take off from the bottom. I could not get to these. I think these we were really supposed to take the bumper off for, and those you can see in here are bolts. They weren't very tight apparently, because I was able to pull that out without it, but the only way to get to that is from the bottom up. So maybe I could use an extension and get it, but I'm doing it completely blind because that grill covers that. So I'm not sure how I'm going to get that in. I may need to pull the bumper to get to that. But I think from now, the grill is loose. I pulled these 2 bolts out and this. There's 3 on either side. And now my grill is completely loose. I have to come up here and disconnect my front camera, and then my grill should be able to come out. And I can start changing lights. Okay, I got the first headlight out without taking the bumper out. I had to go from the bottom side up, and there's one 10mm bolt that fastens here, and then there's another one of those plastic clips here. For some reason this one was really stubborn, and I couldn't get the thing out right and ended up breaking it, so I'm going to have to use a spare one, which I've got another kit for them here. But you can see that there's just one plug that plugs in the headlight. You just have to slide that red clip back and press down right there and unlatch it. The 10mm bolt goes through here, and the little plastic clip latches in right in here. So it's really tight doing it with the bumper on, but you can get it out. So now I'm going to move on to the other side, and pretty much I have the headlight all loose. You can see it's all loose except for this bottom right corner. I have to go from the bottom up. I'm going to try to go underneath and show you what we have to take loose. Right up there in that corner you can see the 10mm bolt that I need to take off and the plastic clip. Okay, I just got the grill back in and the headlights. So there's one bolt on the outside that goes in the headlights from the bottom up, and then one from the top, and then you need to put the grill in to get the center two bolts. So really it all kind of has to go back together a certain way. I had put the headlights in and tightened the bolts up, then I went to put the grill in, figured out that I had to take the bolts back out here on this side. So you have to do this on both sides, and I'll have you stick your camera in here. You can see this is the one bolt that goes on top of the headlight down here. There's another bolt, and this is the long one, and now I'll also have to put a short one in here. So there's two bolts that go in here, and then it's same on the other side. Down here, when I put the lower grill piece on, these bolts here I had discussed before, but when I pulled the chrome piece off, I was able to just pull it out from underneath these nut and bolt. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to just wedge these back in there. If not, I'm going to have to take the bumper loose and drop it down to where I can get from the bottom up to get these three bolts. These are tabs on the grill. So these are really the three hardest bolts to get to that generally people would say you have to drop the bumper to get to. So far I've gotten everything off, the headlights back in without dropping the bumper, but we'll see how this goes when I put the lower grill piece back in. Okay guys, I got it all done. Overall this job was about a 3-hour project, and you can see the tools that I use. Really you need a 10mm socket and ratchet. I used my little snap-on 1/4-inch gun, made it easy to zip all the stuff off the top of the grill. You need a crow's foot to pop all the little plastic clips off, and really if you take your time it's not too bad. I was able to do it without dropping the bumper down. There are 3 bolts. There's little nuts. It's a bolt with a nut on the bottom that the lower grill piece needs to be able to pull out of. Technically you're supposed to be able to loosen those to take it out, and you're supposed to put the new piece in and tighten it up. But in order to do that you have to remove the bumper. I did not do that. I was able to pull the old piece off, and when I was able to pull the old piece out from underneath the nuts, I took my new grill piece and I snugged up the nuts to where I could just snap in the new grill piece in those nuts. So I think it'll be fine because it is bolted on either side. It's tight, like I can't actually pull it out. So unless those bolts would vibrate loose, which they have Loctite on them from the factory, they should be fine. It may be a little bit of a cheating way of doing it, but it's my truck and it saved me about an hour's worth of time tonight. So altogether, I think it went well. The headlights look great. It's the look I was going for with an all black front end, and hopefully I'll get some good pictures for you guys tomorrow, and we'll see how this turns out. Hopefully you guys like it. If you guys got any questions, let me know in the comments below, but like and subscribe if you got other videos that you want us to do on tutorials or educational things from anything from cosmetics to engines, diesels as a whole. We'd be glad to help.